improving your aim in general, as well as just going over my aim routine, I guess, or my warm-up routine.
First thing you want to do is, well, that I like to do is get really, really, really familiar with the joystick. Okay, excuse the ghost touch, but I get really familiar with the joystick and my strafing because a lot of things that there's a few things that can factor when like having shaky aim. For example, like when if you're nervous, you're not calm, then obviously your aim may be shakier. Um, there's like the screen shake thing, obviously, like that effect that can cause your aim to be shaky. Recoil can cause your aim to be shaky, and also now this is important, like your joystick. So like you can over strafe or like when you counter strafe and move in a different direction, like when you're say like there's an enemy there and like in the direction that I'm moving, making sure that my aim is like pretty much on target is like very very important. So you don't want to like overdo your strafe. You get what I'm saying? Like if you're moving left and right, you don't want to overdo it, but also be aware of like how you're moving. If you get what I'm saying, before you scope in, like there's like that delay of like when you're scoping in. Just be aware. Like you see how like as I'm scoping in, I kind of drift like in that direction before I start moving in another direction. I finish it. Uh, that's one thing I noticed. That can throw off your aim as well. But okay, as we move into this, another thing you want to do is, well, I guess I'll just go into how I start off. So I'll start off by just looking at the targets with my eyes, more so than I am looking at the dot, but I am just making sure that my flicks are there. Just warming up my strafing. I'll throw a slide in there, just a few. Make sure that I'm flicking on target. Obviously, it's not perfect every time, and I actually haven't been on CODM in a few days, so don't really critique my aim right now. Um, Obviously, it will be better than this, but first drill that we'll go into, I would say, is obviously most people, you track these targets, you flick, or you'll track like the bots. But the main thing is like your focus. It's like focusing on flicking and micro adjusting. That's like the main thing I would say is if you want to improve like your aim, you want to be able to micro adjust. So like these mini swipes as I'm drifting is you want to be familiar with that. You want to be able to flick and then be comfortable with just those like baby swipes, like those baby flicks. Um, that matters. Being able to recenter when you're not 100% on target. Being cognizant and aware of that. Uh, so that's like one drill you can do. You can do that stationary, or you can do it strafing. You do it both ways. Actually, you want to you want to do it both ways because you want to obviously get the muscle memory for all sorts of situations. But as I'm coming out of my ADS, I am aware of what direction I'm moving at all times, as much as possible. Well, I'll say, just trying to be aware of, you know what I'm saying, how I'm moving, so I'm not over moving. You know what I'm saying? Don't throw off your aim, but you don't want to throw your aim off. You want to throw off the opponent's aim. That's the main thing. So just focus on that. Keep that in mind. But remember to believe in yourself. Trust me, that will go a long way. So then the next drill I would say is focusing on micro adjusting, strictly just like in the opposite direction. That's another thing that will help. That's pretty basic. Everybody pretty much knows that. Just be aware of what direction you're moving when, like, you know what I'm saying, the joystick. But focus on micro adjusting while strafing, and micro adjusting again. That's key. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Micro adjusting. Okay, so let's say I'm shooting an opponent here, but there's an enemy to my right here, right? In order to actually successfully shoot him, I would have to either drag my thumb all the way over here, where now my thumb is like all the way to the right, aim and shoot uncomfortably, which obviously I would want to pick my thumb up and recenter it. So micro adjusting pretty much works the same way. It works the same way when you're controlling recoil. Obviously all of it, if you know what I'm saying, this is me dragging my thumb down if I were to be controlling the recoil. Like, for example, here I'm dragging my thumb down, all the way down. Obviously your thumb is going to be in an uncomfortable position to just shoot again. You'd have to drag it back up, or you can pick your thumb up and hold it, basically. Focusing on like your sliding, a good way to help practice that is like picking a target, pre-aiming, and then picking another target, and as you slide, you turn, and it's simple. You turn, picking a target, and as you turn, you look at the target, but you get the timing down. It's also a timing thing. You want to make sure that your timing is down as you are flicking and scoping in when you slide. For example, I can kill an enemy here, turn. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can turn here, but I can use my movement to turn, like throw them off as I'm turning. You get what I'm saying? It's like here, and then obviously you want to be able to micro adjust in all situations. Micro adjusting is like basically flicking, but just like a small flick. You want to be able to recenter your aim to each enemy while being able to keep the same beam in between each enemy. You get what I mean? So I'm flicking and making sure that my thumb is in the same spot before I spray each. See what I mean? It's not gonna be perfect every time, but obviously that makes a difference. Another drill that helps as we move along into the bots, add bot, we'll do high speed. You can do either or, left and right, front to back. You add four of them, I would say. Good number. Turn off aim assist, obviously, or you can leave it on. For now, we'll just leave it on, because you will be playing with aim assist. Well, more than likely you'll probably be in game with aim assist, so it is good practice because it can throw your aim off after using it. Sometimes, depending on like if you're strafing fast and your aim is like too sticky at one spot on an enemy, it's hard to explain. But pick a bot and just focus on tracking it. You know what I'm saying? But be aware of how you're moving with your joystick. Then pick another one. You know what I'm saying? And just be aware as your thumb starts to get in an uncomfortable spot. then you want to micro adjust. Oop, that was terrible. But, you know, nobody's perfect, okay? So you want to micro adjust. But the more you get comfortable with your sensitivity, the more it'll be muscle memory. The micro adjust that you won't even think about it. You'll micro adjust so fast that your thumb will never actually be in an uncomfortable spot for real. That way you'll be able to spray transfer easily between enemies and relatively much easier. And then at one point, once you feel like you're warming up a little bit, then you'll switch between the enemies. Just keep trying to lock on, but don't scope in. Just look at them. Obviously next, you want to start shooting them, but the main thing for this portion, make sure you're pre-aimed first on the enemy with your crosshair. Also, make sure you're cognizant of your strafing, what direction you're strafing. So try to counter strafe, obviously, and but don't throw off the timing. Like as you scope in, give yourself a chance to scope in before you just start strafing crazy. Finish your scope animation, if you get what I mean. Now obviously next you want to do like flicking, but before you do that you want to practice well actually this is the flicking, but you want to track them and flick between them and get used to micro adjusting. Again, recentering your thumb on the screen, spray, flick and micro adjust, flick, micro adjust. Get what I mean? You flick, micro adjust. It's simple. Flick, micro adjust. Well, I don't know why my aim was shaky there. You want to remove as many excuses as you can from your mentality. The more you remove excuses, the more solutions you'll find. You'll be able to think outside the box a whole lot faster. Be in the flow state. I really hope these drills do help. But again, you have to believe in yourself. And not just for like the sake of saying it. You try to figure out a reason why. You know what I mean? That's, you know, personal thing. Like, why are you even caring, you know, to improve your aim in the first place? Whatever that reason it is, use that as fuel and motivation. Because there's going to be moments where your aim is just, like, off, and you're like, bruh, maybe I'm just trash, and you're not, and don't tell yourself that. Just remember that there's always, you know, another game, you know, which is another opportunity to improve. But what you don't want to do is hop into that game with the same habits as before. So just try to keep a positive mindset towards everything, and you will get it down. Within due time, you know, everybody moves at a different pace, but your mindset is really a giant determining factor on how fast you'll get everything down. You want to try to stay neutral as much as possible. Try to be able to see things as black and white as you can, if you get what I mean. So, no emotion. So when you hop in a game, one thing you want to keep note of is you don't want to think too much about your aim. In fact, you don't really want to think much of it at all. After your warm-up, just try to pick a goal where whatever level that you're at, just try to pick a goal uh, and focus on that goal, you know, for each game versus thinking about your aim. Your aim will improve over time with the muscle memory as long as you're focusing on the right stuff. As long as you're pretty much sticking to the fundamentals, not trying not to overdo anything. Another thing, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't expect like rapid improvements. Um, don't rush the process. In fact, just try to be in the moment and take in everything as you can, as much as you can. If you made it this far in the video, I love you. If you made it this far in the video, be sure to leave a comment if you have any further questions or anything for me. I'll gladly answer in the comment section. If you would like me to make any future videos, any more tips and tricks videos in the future, I'll gladly do that. But be sure to leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe. I love all of you, and I'll see you in the next one. If you don't like, I'll be sad. I'll be really sad. Look, see, look. That's me. That's me right there.
Thirsty.